And let's do that without shooting. Now the enemy is going to turn around properly when hitting the wall. It didn't do it for some reason. I'm I don't know why. That might be the way it was supposed to work from the very beginning. I'm not really sure. Like maybe if it hits an obstacle, it was meant to stop. But I don't see that to be a particularly useful feature. I will say you probably want to have him keep patrolling from side to side. That will be the obvious. Oh, I don't think I saved it. So let's make the change again. Let's make the change again. I wonder if it's that you cannot change it. But let's go into the level, let's go into the enemy, and let's check the wait a second. It definitely oh I killed him again. It definitely has the change on. So let's see what is going to be its behavior. Maybe the change I made was an unnecessary change, and the problem lies elsewhere, or maybe it was another change I made. But that's definitely some uneven behavior. Now it's working properly. Does it have to do with the platform? It doesn't have to do with how close I am to it, does it? That is such an uneven behavior. Well, Jesus. Jesus. Maybe it's because it can change. Let's just change that. Okay, I almost died of aneurysm. Well, I'm going to take the excuse that I don't have much experience with how Godot 4 works, but yeah. I made a small mistake there. Okay, trial and error, that's my way. Instead of learning the proper way, trial and error, baby. That's how I do it. So if it's not the state the problem, then it's the wall. Okay, maybe I should do it again, but be much farther from the enemy. And I killed this one and it worked how it should. So it's the death state is working how it should and it's stopping the speed. Okay, so how about you? Will you spin if I don't see the wall? So, so, hmm, hmm. Why is it not checking for the wall? If that is the problem, why is it maybe the platform is somehow getting in the way? Oh, now it works. Now it works. Now it works. Now it's the same one. Well, the problem is that I wasn't the person who wrote the script or made the entire demo, so I don't know exactly where the problem could be. But I guess that's part of the adventure, knowing exactly where the problem is. You're the one who's going to collide. Let's see if... Okay. So maybe they will appear, maybe the collisions will appear. Okay. Is it maybe the shape of the collision? The one that is causing the problem? That is a bit of a weird shape. Oh, whoops. So it did hit the wall. It does hit the wall. But it doesn't recognize it as a wall. Bar. Oh, that's fine. See? See? Punto X. Cool. Let's check the speed. Let's check. Let's check the velocity x. How is velocity x behaving? So show me how is. I want to know how current speed. Uh-huh. Good. Now it's 22. Now it works properly. So I don't think it's a problem with the calculation. There is something wonky going on with the way the collision works. But I want to know what happens when it fails. Zero. Why are you zero? Is there a calculation that is negating the speed? Is there a calculation that is negating the speed? Oh, and if you don't know how I was looking at the speed, of course you need to put the thing on remote so that you can check the stats of the exact. Of the exact node you want to check. And now we have, and of course, because I declared the variable in the script, now it shows as a member. This is so wonky. This is so wonky. But yes, I'm just looking at the current speed. And that's how, if you want to know anything happening, you can just create a variable to monitor whatever it is. Even if it's something like a method or something that is part of the node, like a member of the node itself, like position or something. Just create a show me the position variable equals position on the physics process or the process really, and it's going to show you at any moment the exact position or the exact speed, the exact rotation, whatever member of the node, which is a cool thing for it's a good thing to know for when doing debugging. Of course, sometimes you only look at the variables themselves, but you forget that there are methods inside the nodes that are not going to show because they are not really variables of your script, so you have to you pretty much are making there a variable to monitor that. Well, you're creating a variable current speed to monitor the velocity x so that you can see it on the editor. And that's what I did. So I could see exactly that. Let me see exactly which one is, because there are various type of and now I'm going to know if it hits wall or not by doing the same method. Of course, I need to make sure, you need to make sure that it's on remote and that you're highlighting the enemy. Of course. So, are you? Do you know that you're hitting the wall? It knows that it hits the wall, so that's not the problem. But the current speed goes to 0. So you know you hit the wall. And when you hit the wall, all you're supposed to do is pretty much change the speed from to the opposite uh, polarity, to call it one way. If it's positive, you change it into a negative. If it's a negative, you change it into a positive. That's all you're doing. So why why well, let's now the state is all the time on 0, so it's not the state the one that is changing. Now we can do a quick check to see if it's the state. But I'm pretty sure it stays on 0. So the state is 0. So what are you going to do? Now it's not supposed to change state, because the only other state is death. So, of course, the state should stay the same, of course, as it should, So, why would the walk speed ever be 0? Okay, you did flip this time. But is it replicable? Like, is that what is going to happen all the time? Is that what is going to happen all the time? No, it's not what is going to happen all the time. So, do you even know that you're hitting a wall? Do you even know that you're hitting a wall? Remote? You don't know that you're hitting a wall. If you're walking, you're going to go 22 speed. I don't want to see you going and anything but 22. Okay, yeah, the slope. I forgot. The slope. The slope. Like maybe I don't know, a couple of if statement to make sure that there are more just in case other stuff happens equals I think that one is more complete. So as long as the velocity else equals if it's sitting on the wall, because at this point I mean it's like wow holy I mean I have no idea. I have no idea. Unless there is another script elsewhere telling it to stop. Like a script that works outside the enemy script telling it, okay, well, I'll shake it later. This is the mystery of what the enemy is doing. And, oh, I hate something. And another thing that could also be, maybe, could be, is a is something on the node, on the behind the back, like the functionality of the node that we are CharacterBody2D. Some of that functionality that the CharacterBody2D has might be affecting the calculation, some of the calculations. Now the character body, this is the stuff of the character body, motion mode, and it could be anything, but we will need to know how does the character body to the works itself, because that's not something that we're seeing on the script. That is something that we will have to check on how the character body to the is not a constant does a constant speed no matter the slope, stop on slope with the body will not slide when calling when the body is standing still. A constant the move. Oh, and it could be one of these because we don't know how the calculation happens when it's hitting on the wall. It's on the wall. Does it calculate the speed then and then check for the wall? Does it check for the wall and then calculate the slope speed? I'm talking about the slope because this is calculating. Let's check this on, and let's check if that makes any difference before we come to any conclusion. Well, was that a fluke? Is that the difference? Let's change it. Is it like calculating maybe the speed? Because the way it calculates walls is by calculating if it's a slope first. Maybe before it calculates if it's a wall, it calculates the speed. The first thing is the speed, and of course, because it's at the it's as a like a 90 angle, probably the speed goes to 0 on that calculation that happens. I'm assuming, I'm making an assumption here. In the order of operations, maybe the speed happens first, then it checks that that 95 that percentage of the slope makes it a wall, but the speed calculation already changed, and that's why it might go to 0. But if it's like a constant speed, you will not be able to have. Let's check it without the constant speed. Okay, is that what's happening here? Like we have. And right now, it's not with the constant speed, but if we enable constant speed, so if it's always at the same speed, it never calculates, do the calculation to change the speed on the slope, which might happen before the calculation to see if it's a wall. So I mean, it might be, it will be fun if it's just a matter of chances or something like that. And yeah, no, I think we can replicate this. I think we can keep replicating this. But if it's on a constant speed, that means that it's not going to change speed when it's on a slope. I don't know if it's changing speed, to be honest. Is it changing speed? I don't think it's changing speed anyway. Well, maybe because it's constant speed. Of course, it's not supposed to change speed. Does it change speed if it's... Now that is the question. Does it change speed if... Oh, it seems to change speed. So yeah, okay, so it does change speed in a slope, right? I'm not sure if it changes speed of... The changes in speed are so... Can you control the changes in speed? Okay, so this is to stop it from sliding. You know what? Let's keep the constant speed. I think it now will get stuck, right? It now gets stuck. But we change it, and this stop. But this is not that it will stop on slope, it's that it will not do the calculation to make it slower. Like it falls, the body will slide. Well, I'm not really sure what. If true, okay, we will not slide. So when it's standing still, if it's true, it will stay on the same spot. But if it's false, the body will slide on the floor when the velocity applies a downward force. So it has to be a downward force. But let's check what happens. Okay, so it's only when standing still. It does nothing if it's moving. Because I didn't perceive any change in speed. Does it? Okay. Oh. See, it has to be something with the slope. And it might not be specifically the constant speed. It might not be specifically with the constant speed. Because now, if we have now, what happens if I do, if I had it like this, slope onward, this is how it's by default. If I had it this way, it will stop on that. It will not move here. It will not move here. That's when it gets stuck. But what happens if I will it start climbing the, let's see what happens. Is this the one that is the problem? If true, the body will be able to move on the floor only. These options avoid to be able to walk on wall. It will, however, allow to slide down on them. Definitely. I mean, I don't care which one of them is the problem. But there is a problem on how the calculations on slopes are done. Now it might have to do, let's get the script back to how it was. Let's check this one. So we are now on the demo projects master from the downloads. This is the original. So let's go to 2D and let's go to, no, it's platformer 2D. And then let's see if it's platformer. Let's see if it's this one. Yeah. Okay, we are on the right. So we are now on the original zip file where these demos came. Enemy. And I'm going to take the enemy GD file. Let's get this entire thing. Copy. So this is the original. And let's put the original here. And of course, now we go to the enemy. and we see if it works with the original code. With the original, do you work with the original code? You don't work with the original code. So it's not that I made a change on the original code. It's that there is a problem with the slopes, and maybe it's the order of calculations. That's an assumption. I am not really a theory. That's a theory. I'm not really sure. But it has to do with the slope, because anything you change when it comes to the floor, at least this tree, I'm not really sure, I haven't messed up with these ones. Let's change it though. Let's go with, I don't know, like 60, something like 60. Let's see if that makes any change. We're leaving. Now that we are using, now it takes more time before it will flip. Actually, it will not flip, so that means that that slope is not even 60 degrees. It's less than 60 degrees. So what happens when you hit the wall? You keep going. You keep going. So let's put less, like maybe 30. Let's put 30. And with 30, no, it's still the same. So this might not do much. Let's put something like 20. 20 degrees. That is a super small slope. Yeah, no, it's, so this one has nothing to do with it. The snap length, I don't know if this will have any, but let's just make a change and see what it does. And it does nothing. So, but when it comes to this tree, any of them that you change will show the behavior. So if I have this one off, now it does it properly. If I have this one on instead, properly again. If I have this one off, again the same. What if I will have a combination of the first two? What happens if I have a combination of the first two? It works. What about a combination of the of all three? It works. What if it's only those two that are changed? Still works. What about maybe these two only? I think I have done most combinations at this point. Did I did the first two? Well, if I didn't, but I'm going to try to do all combinations to see it's just if it's the default. The only one that fails is the default one. So the default one is the only one that fails. the default one, which really begs the question if this was done on purpose, if it's supposed to stop, but I don't think so. I think this is maybe some sort of oversight. So, which one of the trees can make a change without messing up with the behavior of the. I think, yeah, we should not change that one. I really didn't see any difference between. I don't want it to start so suddenly running up walls. So I think this one is like the lesser of two evils. Like if I want to change one, because it just means that it will just move at the same speed. And to be fair, it has moved at the same speed no matter what. But maybe if I change the constant, because the last time was running on my code, and I think with my code I changed the way it changed speeds on slope. But now let's try it with the. It does seem. I don't know if it's just me, but it just seems to slow down a little bit. And then it picks up speed a little bit, right? So let's change that and let's see if it looks any different. The problem is there doesn't seem to be. Okay. Oh yeah, like there's a noticeable change now that it just like there is. So I guess that I'm going to leave it this one for now. But if I see him or any enemy going up walls or something like that, I will have to change the way it works. Like I will have to change it. Yeah, it's like a little bit slower. But there is no way of changing the slope through the editor. Normally, probably that's something that you will have to add up on your script, but there is no like a slope damped or slope loss of speed variable, slope deceleration or low slope. Besides that, the slope behavior is somehow making it fail. I have no answer for. Let's erase the collision ships. I don't have any answer. Like, why exactly does it happen? Why exactly does this happen? So let's go back. And yeah, pretty much now we finally have a fix. But it's a fix that we do not understand.